Welcome to the latest episode of Behind the Green Curtain.
Behind the Green Curtain.
Yeah.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, today we're talking about the history and origins of the Grolife Group. Where it all started.
Plenty of history.
Yeah.
Goes back a fair way, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does back to my parents' business, which my dad Arthur started back in 1982 when I was born. Then
I wasn't even born.
No, you weren't. Not even a twinkle in your dad's eye.
Yeah.
So obviously I grew up in the indoor plant hire industry with my old man and was working through that. And then I think it was about 10 years ago now? 12 years ago.
Not that I'm counting.
Yeah.
Feels about 30, but yeah.
Get a phone call from this guy down in Sydney, wanting to move up to Brisbane, wanted to know if we had any jobs going in the indoor plant hire game.
Random, actually. Just Googled a business in Brisbane who does plant hire, and luckily enough, the business you work for came up first.
Yeah. And then I can still remember the day we said, come on up, come up for an interview. And obviously in Queensland, we're a bit laid back. We're very casual.
Well, we're very professional in Sydney, you know what I mean? So
we'd organised the interview with you at the coffee club down at the Capalaba Park Shopping Centre.
Yes, yeah.
And
Perfect.
We're sitting there, polo shirt, shorts, pretty casual. It was a hot summer's day. It was early October.
It doesn't matter what time of the year up here. It's always hot.
Yeah, and you rocked up, full suit, purple tie, Oakley's on. Look like you're a 19-year-old just off to your first day at the races.
Yeah, pretty much. You've got to make an impression. Hey, 12 years later, we're still talking about it.
You made an impression.
So obviously I've made an impression.
That's right. You did. You did. And then, we obviously said, all right, come on board. We'll give you a go. And we was just starting off doing a few event hire plants. Yeah. Very small into the game then. I think Dad had just acquired a company called plantsforhire.com.au, which had a small indoor plant hire, event hire division. And the idea was for you to come on board and start taking over that section and sort of make it your own. And
I think that we did, I suppose, from there on, the amount of major events that we did was just crazy. And it's stuff we talk about to this day. You think the big events that, you think like the G20, like that was something that was just literally out of this world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the most powerful people in the world coming to little old Brisbane and, having to get literally every single plant and decorator pot scanned. You know what I mean?
That was such an experience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember doing that install through the meeting rooms. And I think there was 20 meeting rooms laid out. It was where all the presidents and prime ministers, senior representatives for each country were supposed to be meeting. And we got given that layout plan of where each plant needed to go in each room, the allocation for everything. And we were going through, and I started at one end, opening up the doors and putting a pot plant in each room and making sure it was all looking good. And I got all the way to the second last one and I opened up the door, and there's this guy in there with his headphones on and a little wand, and he's like waving it all over the room. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm like, oh, hey, mate, I'm just putting a pot plant in the office. And he's there and goes, what are you doing? I said, just putting a pot plant in.
I think he used a bit more colourful language than that.
Colourful language, a little bit more. Yeah, he wasn't too happy with me. And apparently he was working for ASIO or one of the security agencies, the AFP or something like that. And his job was to go through and sweep each room for any listening devices or bugs. And then once he was done, like close the door, lock it up. But he hadn't been locking the doors.
Oh, it's his mistake.
Yeah, and he's just looked at me, he's gone, you can't add more things into the room after I've just swept it. I'm like, so what about the other 20 rooms that I've just put a plant into? He's like, are you serious? It's just taken me like 5 hours.
Add another week's worth of work to him. Yeah. I mean, obviously, because, we're going to bug a plant, aren't we? You never know, mate.
I don't really know too much about the world of foreign spying and all sorts of stuff. Yeah. But, you had to go back and re-sweep every single room all the way through.
That was definitely an experience for sure.
Yeah.
I think And I suppose, yes, moving on from there, things like the Commonwealth Games.
Well, the Commonwealth Games,
that was huge.
Yeah, yeah. You did that after I
Yes,
left Sunnydale and started Grolife, and
So
you were still there.
Yeah, so
at
I suppose,
Sunnydale.
yes. I mean, obviously before that, you'd left. Obviously,
Yep.
you'd moved on. Obviously from that other business, you'd sort of start your own the outdoor side of things. So sort of explain, when all that happened, I suppose.
Well, yeah. So pretty much it just got to a point working in the family business that it was time for me to spread my wings and go out on my own and try and see if I could make it on my own in the world. And so I bought the small outdoor garden maintenance division of Sunnydale, and we only had a little handful of clients and a couple of guys with us. So took those guys on board, and we started out straight away working our butts off. And unfortunately, it was so small that it wasn't generating enough income for me to pay myself a wage to start off with. So for the first 12 months, most nights of the week and on weekends, I was out driving Uber.
Trying to make business, you got to do what you got to do, especially with a young family. There's things you got to do, and
absolutely,
it's paid off now. But yeah, there's sacrifices, isn't it?
It was fun, mate. I look back on it now with fond memories, but at the time it was a bit more of a challenge. But
yeah, of course.
You'd be out on the mower all day, whippersnipper, you're working hard, and then you would go into the nearest shopping centre, change out your dirty high vis clothes and work uniform, and have like a little pat down bath in the
that's just a
toilets
bath
of the
for
shopping
you anyway.
centre.
Really,
pretty much. And then you put on the works, put on the sales shirt, start going out to meet clients, prospective clients, introducing them to who you are and what you're doing, and
fake it till you make it.
Well, that's it. Yeah. And sort of did that for the first 2 years until I was able to sort of get to a point where I was able to step off the tools and really focus on just driving the sales and the growth of the business.
And what was the sort of, obviously, as a lot of people know, there's a lot of facets to the Grolife brand, I suppose. So how did the next stage come across? How did that start?
So what happened was I have a very hard time saying no.
Say yes, work it out later.
Exactly. I would say yes, and then I would figure out how I would do it. And we had a number of clients who would start coming to us and saying, hey, look, you're doing really good with this. Do you know anyone, or can you organise us a locksmith to fix a door lock?
Because that's the first person you go to, isn't it? A landscaper.
Go to the landscaper. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, sure, we can figure that out. And they'd send us a purchase order. I'd find a local locksmith or someone who could solve the problem, and then we'd get it done. And then it was like, oh, can you fix some tactiles on the floor? So we would do that. Oh, can you repaint a wall? And so we started doing all of these little jobs, and it was getting more and more and more. And we thought, you know what, there's a business here. Like there is an opportunity with our existing clients to provide a service of something which they're obviously missing. Maybe there's a shortfall in the market that there isn't enough people in that space to fulfill the need. So Michael Spackman was a good mate of ours, and he was just looking for a new career option and was looking for a change of direction. And he came to me one day, and we were sitting down having a beer, and he was saying, oh, look, I'm interested in trying something new. And I told him about this type of work. I said, mate, I think there's a whole business here if we really get into it and focus on it. And he's like, yeah, I think there is. Let's do it. So we created Grolife Property Services from there.
Yep.
And Michael did the same thing, started out on the tools, decked out his Hilux U with all his tools and everything in the back.
He had a bit of a background, I suppose, didn't he?
He did have a background in that from many years earlier. But he was just going around figuring out how to do things and just doing all those small handyman items. The only problem was with the licensing requirement, we were only capped
very restricted,
$3,000. So we were stuck there. So we needed to bring on someone who had a building license, who was able to sort of help us go to that next level and expand our service range. And that's when Mike said, hey, what about Chris? He's got a building license, mid-rise building license, many years of experience in the residential construction game, understands site supervision and what it takes to organise multiple trades to deliver a job. So Mike and I sat down with Chris, and we presented him with the idea of bringing him on board as a business partner and an owner in the Grolife brand to come on and grow the Grolife Property Services side. And Chris said yes, and the rest is history.
The rest is definitely history.
Those guys are just going from strength to
strength to strength every year. Every year you see it, and especially the team just expands all the time.
Absolutely.
They got some pretty talented guys who work for them. So they do amazing work.
And we've gone from doing $3,000 jobs now up to multi-million dollar commercial fit outs and asphalt works and industrial roof installations and all sorts of things. So it's really been able to diversify and offer such a broad range of services and solutions to our clients. Yeah. So it's no longer just we can mow your lawns. It's now we can pretty much look after your entire building and anything that needs to happen. The one-stop shop.
I suppose that was the next stage. I suppose
well, that's it. Yeah,
we've been mates for a long time. Obviously, even once you left the previous company we both worked at, we always wanted to be in business together, and I suppose we did see an opportunity, and it came to the time, and we sort of said, well, I think it is time, and you have at the time you do have those concerns, is it right going to business with a mate? But I think with our relationship, it's definitely not like that, and I think that's why you're my yin, we're yin and yang. You know what I mean? Like we finish each other's sentences.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of the four of us.
The four of us, exactly right.
We all have a slightly different personality and operating style. Yeah. And we all complement each other in those ways. Yeah. So that we're not all pushing too far out one side or too far the other. We bring to the table different ideas and ways of looking at
someone goes
problems.
Too far. And has these bold ideas, which generally is you.
Yep.
We can just, hey, that's a great idea, but just
rein it in.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
That's right.
So, and then 3 years ago now, which is crazy to think.
3 years.
Grolife Indoor Landscapes started.
Took off.
So, and that's obviously when I came on board to the brand.
Yeah. So it was always from the get-go when I first had the idea of starting Grolife was to have an indoor landscape division, because I grew up in that industry. I knew it inside and out, and I understood what it takes in order to deliver a good service in that realm. It took a little bit of a while to get into a position where we had the capacity and the ability to do it.
Yeah. Teaching clients that we can do that as well.
That's right. Yeah. And then 3 years ago, you were still working for my dad, and Dad was getting towards the end of his career and was looking at winding up, and you were still looking at getting going, and it seemed like just the natural progression was for you to follow what I was doing and step out and go down your own path as well. Yeah. And that's when you came up and said, hey, Cam, I think it's time for me to follow you and jump on the Grolife bandwagon.
It was kind of like that's true, the bandwagon. But I suppose we're offering this one service for the client, and it was kind of the finished, the end product, I suppose, in a way as well. Like, we're providing the outdoor gardening, we're providing the building services. And look, people probably do get confused. Oh, if you're a landscaper, you can do stuff indoors. Yeah. It is a completely different realm.
Completely different realm.
Absolutely completely different realm.
Yeah.
It's indoor plants, it's easy. It's not.
It's very hard to overwater an outdoor plant.
Well, exactly right. Because it's a garden, it just drains.
That's right. But inside, and you're looking after particular varieties of plants, you can overwater and kill a plant in 1 week.
Exactly.
In one service.
You have two different plants next to each other. One doesn't need too much. The other one does.
Yeah.
It's very easy to kill plants indoors.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, and that's why we do what we do, and it's, I suppose, starting Plantscapes was, it was hard at first. It was good in a way that we had that client base already, which helped. And having that Grolife brand to it obviously is a huge plus too.
It did make a difference, because we'd already developed the relationship with the client and the trust with the client through the landscape management and the property services. So they knew the quality of service that we delivered. They knew our service reports, our processes, and how we guarantee our work. So when we said, hey, we can now do indoor plants for you as well, it was a very easy sell.
Yeah.
They were like, fantastic, great. one single point of contact, one phone number to call up if I've got a problem, and you guys can all just sort it out. And
this is obviously the big part in regards to the permanent side. You know, me working obviously at Sunnydale, I'd been running the event side, so I'd done a lot of big events in the past, and you know, now we're continuing to do that. And I think it's, you know, getting back to sort of these big events that we do, you know, it's good for our staff that they're not doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
They've got these big events on, and it's something, it's a challenge as well. You
know
what I mean?
It is.
Things like that. So, you know, thinking, going back to that, you know, back to 2018 and the Commonwealth Games, it's, you know, the challenges that you do come across with these major events are pretty crazy. And we're just supplying the plants. You know, we're a minute part of the event. You know, for us, it's huge.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a minute part to these events, and the stuff you have to go through. You know, going back to that, you know, we had to go drop plants off at, say, at the hockey centre in a truck, and then get back in the truck because we had half a truck for the stadium. We had to go back to another area to get that truck scanned again. You know, you got the army going in, the mirrors, and you know, we're just the plant guys. Like,
you can only imagine what the Olympics is going to be like when that rolls around.
Well, I mean, you know, before we know it, will be 2032 and slammed. But it's pretty exciting to see everything that's happening around Brisbane, that's for sure. And if we can just be a part of that, just in regard just the infrastructure itself, you know, never mind the actual games itself, it's going to be pretty amazing to be a part of, that's for sure.
Since you know, you're a bit like me, you've spent most of your career around plants from a young age, and then in this, especially in the indoor plant hire and the event industry, what do you think is probably the biggest change in the way things have happened from how we used to do it, you know, 20 years ago to now?
Probably more the safety side of things, that's for sure.
You
know, we now, no matter what event we do, you have to be inducted. Doesn't matter where it is. Even like we do things out the hotel down the Gold Coast. It's just a small little event centre. Must be inducted, or you're not let in. You know, you must organise a time to be able to get into the loading dock. You know, there was nothing like that. It was just, turn up at about midday, you know, drop the plants off. You just plants, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Now it's just, you've got to, if you're not booked in, see ya.
It's not happening.
Park on the street, you can carry them in.
Safety has become a major point of difference, I guess, for us. We've really focused in on that.
Big time.
You know, on the landscaping and the property services side, as well as the plantscape side, you know, site-specific safe work method statements for every visit coming through, for every event that you do. You know, going through, doing a JSA, looking at the site. What are the risks? What's happening? You know, you got guys walking around carrying plants. You got forklifts running around. You know, being able to make sure you're creating exclusion zones so that when you're doing the setup, you don't have other people, you know, coming through creating trip hazards and things like that. It's become a big part of it.
It has. And I think, you know, getting back to what we were talking about with the service reports, you know, we do it with our events as well. You know, it's definitely a big point of difference when it comes to our competitors. Especially in the plant hire industry. You know, our guys, when we deliver plants for an event, they'll get a photo of where the plants were delivered, especially at expos. You know, we could have, say, a home show, and we'll deliver to 20 different stands. Sometimes, you know, they're not there. So we'll just deliver the plants where we're told to, take a photo, send it to them. Sometimes people think, oh, well, no one's there at that stand. There's a few plants there. I might put that on my stand. You know, and the next thing, you know, we get a call a few hours later saying, where's my plants? I'm like, well, we actually sent you a delivery report and here's a photo. Oh, wow, you did. You know, it stops the confusion there as well.
And especially for some of those event hire companies or event management companies that are interstate. And they're not there. The work twice. They're not even there to see whether they've been delivered or not. So giving them that assurance that it's happened by giving them that service report.
You're saying, oh, did you deliver the plants? Well, they got something straight to their inbox.
It also gives them a peace of mind, and us a peace of mind on time frame as well. So they know exactly when things were dropped off and picked up, and everything's all GPS tracked as well. So
definitely, and again that flows into our permanent hire as well with the guys boarding the plants in the offices. You know, they turn up and we could have 6 or 7 different tenants in one building. Each tenant gets something straight to their inbox when the guys are finished. tick and flick.
Yeah.
We've watered the plants, we've trimmed them, we've fertilized them. Here's some photos, sent to them.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting an invoice at the end of the month saying, give us some money.
Yeah.
They're getting value for money by that, having that as well.
Of the service.
And proof of the service. And obviously, it puts the onus back on to our team as well.
That's right.
We need to get this job done. We can't just skip it, because if we skip it, then it comes up saying we haven't sent their service report.
That's right.
And again, it's all GPS tracked too.
Talking about permanent hire. Tell me your best horror story.
Story.
From doing
phone calls.
hire.
You had to get a phone call saying the plant's smelling. Yeah. Why is the plant smelling? Oh, we'll come and check it out. It stinks. We just don't know what's going on. You put something dodgy in the water.
What was the one from last week from up north? Was it Bribey Island?
Oh, Bribey Island. Oh, yeah. So, obviously, we do the plants at the shopping centre up there. And, we got a phone call saying that one of the plants has died. And I'm thinking, we were only there last week. What's going on?
How do you kill plants in a week?
How does the plant die? I'm like, no way. So got a photo. I'm like, it doesn't look great. So, I spoke to the service tech and like, no, we watered the plant. Looked at the service report. Yeah, no, it was alive a week ago. So that's really odd. A plant could die in a week.
Yeah.
So went up there, changed the plant. We removed the plant out of the pot, and inside the pot was a seal pot. There was a green bag of spew.
Oh.
There was a cheeseburger.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got to remove that. The bag splits.
Oh.
All over the floor. Luckily, the cleaners were there. They probably see a lot worse. But the smell apparently was just absolutely rancid. But that's they're the things that especially in shopping centers. People see a plant, think it's a bin.
Yeah.
And that's like with the events as well.
Yeah.
Like we at the Ekka.
Yes.
We did the stuff at the Ekka. You get a 2-week-old Dagwood dog in the plant.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I
it's a
remember
plant.
doing
It's a
the
bin.
Ekka
Same
and
thing. No, it's not.
There was a stand that was like doing taste testers of like fresh orange juice. And I don't know whether it was the guests or the visitors or the stand itself, but every day they were like tipping the orange juice into the plant. And then at the end of the week, we came through to pull the plants out, and the entire decorator pot was full, probably about 20 litres of orange juice this plant was sitting in. And it all gone off. And
vitamin
C
is good, but not that much. And no. Well, even you think like in the offices too, like people think they are helping.
Yeah.
But you pay us to come every week, every 2 weeks to water your plants.
Yeah.
Just enjoy them by looking at them.
Yeah.
That's it. You're kind of not helping when you're throwing a bit of water on the plant. I suppose another good example was it was a fairly large company, and the CEO had a plant in his office. Yeah. And he obviously had a complaint saying to his assistant, hey, this plant stinks in my office. Yeah. What the hell's going on? Yeah. And we got there to pull the plants out, and there was just rancid milk in the bottom of the plant. Yeah, milk. So obviously he's got a bit left in his coffee, throws it on the plant, thinking it's fine. Of course. Well, eventually, it's got to start smelling.
It started to fill up.
And it's also going to smell. It's milk.
Yeah.
It's going to go off. And it's funny because again, people do think they're helping. And look, genuinely, they really do think they're helping. Yeah. But you're not. Yeah. Thank you. But we'll do it from here. You just enjoy the look of the plants.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of my favourite ones for the permanent hire was looking after a shopping centre, south side of Brisbane. And there was in that shopping centre was a florist. And we had these beautiful peace lily plants all the way through the shopping centre. And I think we had some bird of paradise or a couple of other plants in there. And in the mornings, the florist was coming through and cutting all the foliage off all the indoor plants and putting them into her arrangements in the
they're
forest.
There, so hey, why not cut them off?
And we've gone in to do the service, and all the plants have like got one
Just
leaf
one
left
stem.
on them.
Yeah.
And so I've looked around and I can see
she's got a beautiful floral arrangement.
Beautiful floral arrangements, and I can see the plants and the flowers right there. And so I've gone, hey, where'd you get these foliage from? Did you cut them off the plants? And so she's like, no, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. And I'm like, really? Because that looks exactly like what's come off that plant out the front of your shop. No. Wasn't me. Like, all right, just for future reference, moving forward, you can't cut up the plants in the shopping centre.
And they're also not yours.
So we had to go through and replace all the plants through the centre.
The fact it's a shopping centre, oh no, it wasn't me. It's like, well, there is cameras, so hey.
That's right. Yeah, we did go to the facilities manager and go, hey, can you let them know that they're not allowed to do it and it's up on the cameras?
Yeah, for sure. just, some of the things you do come across, but keeps us on our toes, I suppose. And,
does.
Makes it fun.
It does make it fun. And, with the event hire side, the thing that I enjoy the most is doing some of these, out of the norm events. Like I think some of the fun ones that we've done like Woodford Folk Festival.
We did Blues Fest. You do the ones down the ones down at Byron Bay.
Yeah,
it's
done the private suites at the Gold Coast 500.
Yeah,
and driving around the racetrack in the ute with your plants on the back.
yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
That's really fun.
You want to put your foot down,
Yeah. And then you did one last year that was up at Hamilton Island.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. So it was for Telstra. They had their awards event, so they have it once a year, and they had it there. So pretty much all the staff from Telstra was up there for the week it was about 2 nights during the week, and so we had our plants from Brisbane sent up, straight up to Airlie, and then put on a boat over to Hamilton Island, and I flew in there. Landed straight to they've got a small convention center there, landed there, 3 pallets of plants there, ready to go for me to spread out, and did all that and
weave your magic.
Weave the magic, as I do, when it comes to events. And
How long was the event for?
They went for 2 days.
2 days.
So
you bump in on...
It was like a Tuesday afternoon. It went Wednesday, Thursday, and then Thursday night. Yeah.
Thursday night. So what did you have to do between like bump in and bump out?
Well, you just have to work hard on an island, I suppose,
just on the laptop.
On the laptop, 2 days, working on my laptop,
That's terrible.
Well, I'm on an island. Okay, there's nowhere else I can go.
That's true. That's true.
That's the thing, with us, wherever the event is, we'll go.
That's right.
It doesn't nothing will stop us going to anywhere. If you're prepared, if you're prepared to use our services, we'll go wherever you need our plans to be.
Absolutely.
So,
one of the things that we looked at last week when we were down in Melbourne, and it's amazing what technology is doing at the moment.
This really excites me. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah,
bioluminescent plants.
Yeah.
So. We went to this little expo introduction with the
Chamber of Commerce
French
event,
guy. And came across this company called Agley, which is creating this serum for turning plants and cut flowers in bioluminescent. So basically, it works by drawing up this serum through the capillary network of the plant and into the leaves and the petals of the flowers, so that under blue light it reacts and becomes absolutely amazing. It just lights up. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this product, and hopefully we can get work through the processes and how it can actually work for us. Because I suppose when it comes to events, we want to keep moving forward. It's not just about supplying a plant in a pot.
It's
we want to create
things.
We want to create an atmosphere. We want to create an experience.
That's
people
right.
go to these major events for an experience.
Yeah.
And hey, look, our plants are the background.
Yeah.
You walk into a big hall and there's a load of chairs and tables, and this is great, but fill it with plants.
Yeah.
And then fill it with plants that glow in the dark.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It really excels that experience for the client.
It's like having an event inside the forest of Avatar.
Correct. Yeah. It's like you said, it's amazing where technology is going, where it's going to continue to go.
Yeah.
It's for people to think like that and think that that's going to work in a plant. Just like we've seen enough stuff in our life when it comes to horticulture and stuff. This just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like it really does.
Like even with on the landscaping side, we're heavily investing in PGRs, in plant growth regulators. So certain products which will help reduce the growth of hedges and plants.
It's still good for the plant. Like
still good for the plant.
Not going to do any damage or anything like that.
It doesn't hurt the plant in any way. It just stunts its growth, so that it reduces our labour time on trimming plants, mowing lawns.
Would have been handy to do this before all this heat and rain you've had in the last few months.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we were trialing out through this period, but we were able to see some really good results with it.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're setting up our own crew this year to go through and just do treatments of these PGRs on our clients' sites.
Yeah.
To try and make sure that when we go through summer next year, we keep them in that pristine condition. We don't have to worry about hedges, getting right out of control.
And it helps the team stay on top of jobs, I suppose, as well.
Absolutely. And it reduces the workload.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest challenge that we have at the moment. And maybe more so on the outdoor than the indoor, but recruitment of staff is everyone's struggling with it.
It doesn't matter what industry you speak to.
Yeah.
How's work, how's business?
Yeah.
Recruitment.
Yeah.
Staff.
Going great. I just can't find enough staff.
It's serviceability on your jobs because you just don't have the staff.
Yeah. And doing landscaping in these conditions, it's challenging.
It's a hard sell.
It's a hard sell for a lot of young guys, and it's challenging. So if we can find ways to be able to reduce the intensity of that labor work that goes into maintaining the sites, I think that we're going to be able to find ways to be able to bring more workers into to join the Grolife team.
Yeah. Is there any sort of products that you're trialing at the moment that's going to help with that as well in regards to your vehicle, what you use in regards to your mowers or anything like that? Is there anything like that you're sort of looking at the moment that's going to help the team as well?
Yeah. So one of the main things we've just trialing and purchased our first Ventrac, which is multi-tool machine that does everything from slashing wide acre blocks and acreage paddocks down to mowing golf courses. It has hundreds of different attachments that can go onto it. It's a pretty impressive machine.
Yeah.
So we're utilizing things like that to be able to use more mechanics and machinery than using human physical labor.
Yeah.
For example, with the Ventrac, it has like an edging attachment, which allows you to, run alongside a footpath that's like maybe our footpath's 100 meters long, instead of using a whippersnipper or an handheld atom edger to cut in a vertical edge along the footpath.
It doesn't just cut grass.
No, it doesn't just cut grass. It does hundreds of different things.
Wow.
So we just trialed a what's called a boom hedger on it, which is basically like a ginormous mechanical hedger for trimming hedges, cuts the sharp lines. And so basically you can drive alongside the hedge with the Ventrac, and it will just cut in a nice sharp line as you drive along.
Instead of walking 200 meters. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Up and down with the hand hedger.
Yeah.
You just drive your vehicle.
It helps the staff. And things get done quicker.
That's right.
And happy client.
Yeah. So it's that sort of thing. We're also in the process of bringing over a new mulching machine from the States.
I was going to say, where did you come across all this?
Yeah. All this, most of these new items, every couple of years go over to Equip Expo over in America. Kentucky was the last one we went to.
Okay.
It's basically the world's biggest landscaping conference.
Yeah.
So all the suppliers and equipment providers from all over the world, come to Kentucky and show off all the latest technology, equipment, trends that are going around. It was really exciting. Very interesting to see the push towards battery technology.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Everyone's going away from the old two-stroke petrol tools into battery technology, and some of the new battery technology, you're getting 8 hours runtime out of a hedger.
And that's the biggest thing, is that you need it to last.
You need it to last. And it has to run the whole day.
Yeah.
Or it has to be able to recharge fast.
Yeah.
And so there was a brand there, Crest, that was bringing out a new supercharger, which was able to recharge the batteries. I think it was 8 minutes would give you 8 hours worth of battery life.
Wow.
So while you're having a break, your morning tea, bang, you've recharged your batteries, you're good to go again. Yeah.
Wow.
It was very impressive.
Yeah, no, great. So it's pretty amazing where technology is going. Like, it's going to be amazing what it's going to be like in 10 years time.
Oh,
probably 5 years time.
Well, I'm so excited seeing the convergence of building design and structure and nature coming together. You look down at some of these new developments and you see the vertical gardens, the green walls, the hanging plants. The new gym down at Newstead, Total Fusion Platinum, where they've got this ginormous fig tree in the center.
So many people don't think it's real.
Most people don't think it's real, and just they've got it just right with the lighting requirements.
Yep. Again, that's the thing. You've got to get lighting right. Some of the plants you have to get lighting right.
Yeah.
It's all well and good. I want a massive big fig tree in my my lobby space, but hey, you've got no light.
That's right.
But can't get this tree. Well, that tree was next to a window, so that's going to work. This isn't. You've got to get things like that right, and that just like I said, that adds to the whole how it is indoor plants and keeping them alive and things like that. It is a difficult task. It really is.
But just the fact that everyone's getting back into that now and understanding the benefits of indoor plants, understanding the benefits of landscaping and greenery and nature and how that impacts on the commercial world. It's so refreshing because we went through such a period through the 90s and the early 2000s.
People didn't think it was worth it.
No,
we don't need
plants.
We don't need it.
No, we don't need it. It's just decoration.
Yeah.
And
now it's proven. There's proven studies,
especially
with indoor plants. It reduces anxiety, reduces sick leave.
Yeah.
There's so many possibilities, and it's really good to see. It really is good to see.
And even like the little things that we've managed to do, and they're only small things, but one of the buildings that we look after in the city where we had quite a large number of indoor plants. I think it was about 6,500 indoor plants in there. And when we took on the contract, half of the plant decorated pots were empty. And it was basically put on us to replant the entire building. And we were given no budget to do it.
Yeah.
So put our heads together, come up with the idea to propagate plants on site in the basement from cuttings taken from the plants in the building. And we took those cuttings, propagated them up, grew them up into little 140 mil plants.
We literally had to set up our own sort of indoor nursery in a way.
Yeah, propagation.
Heated shelving, grow lights, everything. So it's, and now,
3 years later, we've pretty much populated the entire building.
You saving the client. You probably save the client close to $50,000 worth of plants just by doing this.
That's right.
It takes a bit of time, but we'll find a way to help you save money and try to make use of what's in the building.
That's it.
And like you just rejuvenating plants that are already there. Like you said, it's
a simple solution.
Simple solutions. Yes, it might take longer.
Yeah.
But
we saved over $60,000 worth of plant purchases.
Yep.
So it was,
and that definitely doesn't get forgotten.
That's right.
So and it was amazing to be able to think of something like that. You know what I mean? It's now it's the only was pretty much probably the first time it ever happened. You know what I mean? So we got, and now we're getting our clients with their buildings saying, hey, like we want to let's get a rooftop nursery.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's use the water that's getting used in the building. Was it from the aircon vents?
Condensation from the air conditioning to be able to water the plants up on the roof. We can propagate and grow our own plants on the building and supply them back to the tenants inside the building at a reduced rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really, really good initiative that we're doing. It's good to see that there's a few people are
getting on board with it. And then we're putting it alongside, we're using the native bees as well on the buildings. Suppliers who are bringing in the native bees to help with the with the growth of the plants. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. I love it. I love to see it happening. It's honestly, and we're not just saying this because it's the industry we're in. Like it's a pretty amazing industry, and we're very lucky. I feel like we're very lucky to be a part of it. Yeah, and it's always changing. Yeah, and again, it's just something else. Just keeps on our toes all the time. So what's next? What lies in the future for Grolife Indoor Plantscapes? Short term, we've got a lot of pretty big events coming up. Next week, we've got CMC Rocks out at Willowbank, which is a pretty big event. That's a really cool event to be a part of. Yeah. A lot of big country music acts going out there. So it's a huge event. Thousands go to that. So really excited about that one. A lot of trade expos. And the usual, today we installed plants for the Brisbane Lions season. Oh, yes. So working with them again. Mighty Brisbane Lions. Hopefully for a good season. But we do that with them for the season. We look after put the plants in the Premiership Lounge, working with one of our clients, Una Memento, which we'll be having on the next podcast. So looking forward to talking to them. Yeah, great. I suppose more further down the line, looking at an expansion to our nursery. So that's right. So it's nursery's bulging with plants, to be honest, at the moment. So Tim, our hardworking staff member, Tim, who obviously runs a lot of our event deliveries, and he's he's just amazing in the nursery with what he does for us. He's sort of saying, hey guys, like we got to start expanding here. So obviously now we're into the position where obviously we're going to look at acquiring our own nursery. Which is really exciting. So sort of starting the bare bones and actually building something that we want and what's going to work.
Because we've been leasing a nursery up until this point. So this will give us full control
of what we want to do.
Space and how we're going to be able to design it to make sure that we're growing the right plants for the right locations.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. And I think it's also it's something that we can work like both our businesses, you know, the landscaping business and obviously the indoors as well. So, you know, actually having somewhere where we can start growing all the outdoor stock instead of, you know, you actually buying stock from other nurseries.
Absolutely.
Let's grow stuff. Let's grow it straight away and things like that. So, that's really exciting. So that's coming up very soon. So we're really pumped about that.
Very excited for that.
Very excited. So like I said, you know, be able to do something from the start and actually build it to how we want it. You know, and realize, you know, how good it's going to be for both businesses. So
I'm looking forward to also being able to utilize that nursery space on the landscaping side for us to be able to generate our own mulch.
Yes.
So we're doing a lot of tree work at the moment, and most of the grindings that come from the trees ends up going to waste. So at the moment, what we'll be able to do is have our own pad where we're able to drop off that mulch, where we can control what material is going into the forest mulch, be very selective and make sure that we grind it down to a fine pool, which we can then deliver back to our clients at a highly reduced rate. So we can make sure that we can have that nice layer of mulch on their gardens to stop the weeds coming up through the summer.
Those nasty weeds
as well.
Yeah.
And also it means that we can control the quality of what's going into that mulch, so we don't have to worry about any asbestos or anything coming through.
Didn't that hit everyone like a freight train the other day?
Sure did.
Yes, luckily enough we don't use that
supplier.
So that's a good thing, obviously. Hopefully all that gets sorted out though. It's great to talk. Obviously talking about the Grolife brand. You know, like I said, you know, our biggest thing is to go to our clients and say, hey, we're a full service. You know, one-stop shop, and that's obviously where we're heading and where we want to be. So, and obviously soon we'll obviously come in with Mike and Chris from Property Services and have a real in-depth chat, obviously, about the whole group together. And we'll go from there. But until next time, guys. We'll talk soon.
Watch this space.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, Mike.
Cheers. Thank you.